In this video, I'm going to do some live trading. I'm going to teach you guys how you can day trade and make a lot of money trading crypto. Let's jump straight in. So if I jump into a trade fast, I will talk about why I got into this trade, because I feel like the trade is setting up pretty nicely already. Before I turn the camera on. All right, cool. So I'm waiting to see what we do between these two ranges, and I'll explain to you shortly why. Let me just remove all these unnecessary lines. All right, cool. What I like to do, I like to go on the 15 minutes time frame, okay? And I like to find my swing high and swing low. There was my swing low, there was my swing high. Right? As soon as we broke a swing high or swing low, this is my ABC method. First of all, an alert. Alert that you broke it. All right. Now, B is backtrack. It's going to backtrack up because this is just an alert to say, okay, we want to go lower. And we're going to backtrack up, but we don't know how far. We could touch the previous support line here, which is going to be now resistance. We could go through it. We just got to drop down to the lower time frame and start analyzing and looking at what we got. All right. So we know that we've got liquidity here, liquidity here, liquidity here. We always want to see where our liquidity is as well. So we can zoom out and we can see that, we've got a lot of liquidity here. We want to potentially, I see it can coming down to get more liquidity down here, right? So buyers are pushing price here. Buyers are pushing down the price here. It's a battle, and we just need to figure out from what we can see who's going to win this battle, right? Are we make higher lows, or are we going to make lower highs? All right. We just seen what's happening. Okay, cool. So right now, I want to keep an eye on this line here. I see bounced off this line a couple of times on the 5-minute time frame. And for sure, when we break here, this is definitely a sign, possible sign to enter. All right. Also, we want to look out for fair value gaps as well, which we'll talk about that in a later time. But you can see all the fair value gaps here have kind of pretty much been closed, but we'll do a video on the fair value gap. All right. I'm not going to edit these videos, guys. I want to keep them raw, authentic, straight in there. So if I pause for a moment because I feel like, there's nothing for me to say, I'll pause and I'll come back. This is just pure value for you guys, to show you guys how to trade, because not many people are teaching you how to trade actual crypto. All right. They just like to flex results and they're not teaching anything. Okay, so we can see we're coming back up to this support line, well, resistance line. All right, I want to see how. Okay, also let me go into blofin as well. Yep, I'm in my account. Let's get this ready, set up. Let's put on the trade. All right. I'm scalping, so I don't mind putting a high leverage, which I'll come to that in a bit. But when you're scalping, it's fine. All right. Okay. It's all about risk management, guys. Okay. I'm going to put this over here. People think, oh, leverage is bad. Leverage is absolutely fine. All depends on, your risk management. Okay. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good little dip there. I was planning to actually get in there. That was a good, very good entry point that was there. I should drop down to the 1 minute. I could have catched that. I'm not going to FOMO in. So you see how it's really respecting this line here, okay? And it's pushing up. Let's see what happens when he tries to get through this previous. Okay, cool. We're going up. That's good. That's good. This is why we don't FOMO into trades, guys. So what we're looking for now is a correction, guys. You know, there you go. It seems like it's really, it's fighting, isn't it? You can just see the fight. You can see the fight. I believe we're going to be going for a short at some point, but we're going to wait till we see the correction in the market before we think about even entering, right? Let's say it respects the liquidity line. All these blue lines is where liquidity is, guys. Remember, just always think of liquidity as in the markets will always fight to grab liquidity. This is what the market makers do. This is what we are teaching smart money concepts, all right? And it seems like it's okay, cool. Yeah, it's defending that. All right, that was a good entry point. It is really bearish. I can just tell. But we're not just going to jump on any old candle. And it say broke through that previous support and that previous push straight away. I got a feeling this is going to roll over. I am bearish. My thesis of the day is bearish. That is my thesis, and that's what I'm looking to do. Short the market. But we want the right entry. And that could have been potentially a great entry. Let's wait for a better entry. See how this holds up. Let's say you can knock on the door one more time. Knock on the door means to go back up and to test, to grab some more liquidity and to test this previous low. Yeah, like I thought. And remember, guys, even if we don't even catch the trade here, it's not always about FOMO. If you don't get the right entry, we don't enter at all. We don't FOMO into trades. So what I'm waiting for now, guys, I'm waiting for it to come back up to test this resistance that we got here. We got a whole lot of resistance here. You can tell we got sellers pushing the price down, pushing the price down. Here we got buyers pushing the price up, and here we got buyers pushing the price up, and here we got loads of liquidity. If we zoom out and we look on the 15, we are in a bearish structure. Okay. Yes, we could have a little rally on the upside. That easily can happen. It easily can happen. And that's why I'm being a bit hesitated to take the short straight away, because we could easily come back up to here. Easy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Look at this high here. And this is what I'm kind of waiting for. And not FOMO in, because look at this high. This high hasn't been tested yet, because if you look, it's coming down. This is a high. This is the higher low, and then usually you'll come back up around about here to test a low high. So it could come here or even here as like a fake out. This would be like a fake out. Here would be like a normal market structure, because it's only here. Yeah, I've got a feeling we can. Here's a bit extreme. I think this is where my stop loss would be. I want it to come here. This is the low. This is where I want to enter. Okay. This is where I'd feel really comfortable entering. Because remember, we had the ABC, so the alert, the correction, and the continuation. All right. Now, we never want to FOMO, because we look at the market. The market is bearish, but look at it. Does it even make sense it would start dropping down here without a little pullback? Without grabbing some liquidity up here? About shaking out all these people that try to short the market here? You know, remember, it's us against the market makers and the retail. We ain't retail. I'm teaching you how to be like the market makers. think like them. So I'm actually going to delete these because I don't even care about these. I either want it at a premium or I don't want it at all. And this here is where I feel like we can get to. Remember, trading, guys, is all on probabilities and understanding market structure, understanding what's going on, understanding, are we bearish, are we bullish, have we broke market structure, and with my method, where are we in the method? I'll go through the method now while I believe we'll have a bit more time. At first I thought I would enter my position a bit faster, but I feel like we've got a bit more time to explain. So these black lines, don't worry about any other lines. Okay, worry about the blue lines. This is liquidity. Okay, I'll do a whole video on liquidity, but this is where buyers and sellers meet, let's just say. Okay, where there's demand. Now, don't worry about this here. Don't worry about this here. Okay, I'll tell you what I did there. Very simple. This is a swing low. See the low? This is a swing high. High. Swing low, swing high. Very simple stuff. We put this line at a swing high, this line at a swing low. When this is called an alert, I will put an alert on TradingView, and when it breaks this, it alerts me that we are broke this low. All right, we are bearish. Now, this is what retail will do. Retail will be like, John and Elizabeth will be like, hey, let's jump in the markets, let's go. And look what happened. This here, if you've got, sometimes I do ape into this on like a quick, scout. Like, that is a nice little, you can make money off that with big ports. But for the longer waves, right, I want to wait for it to correct back in. All right. Well, I call it back up, ABC, right? So I want it to back up. See, look at it. See, you see this here, guys? You see? Normal people, the FOMOing down there, with the FOMOing up there. Do you know what I mean? We're not FOMOing no markets. Our bias is we are bearish, right? But we believe it wants to shake out a few people first before it will continue to drop any lower. And right here seems enough to shake people out. So I'm going to I'm just watching. All right, I'm in. All right, let's just, I'm in, and I'll explain to you why. Let me just get all my positions in, because for some reason it's not letting me get my whole position in. Let me just get my positions. Okay, we're going back up. That's fine. That's fine. Remember I said I wanted to go here? I entered a little prematurely, but that's fine. I did that just in case they grabbed all this liquidity here. I'd want to swing it back before, I get to my mark. But I haven't got my full position in, so that is absolutely fine for me. Just I think because I've got a high leverage, I have to kind of like stagnate it in a bit, which is cool. Cool. So what I'm going to do, I've got a little bit of positioning. Let's see where we go right about here. If we're going to go up here, I'm going to ladder in some more. It's not letting me kind of on 125x leverage, it's not letting me put in what I want to put in. Just to the market how it is now, it's a bit like that. The market makers, you can only enter in a certain amount, depending on how they feel. So we're going to wait for it to touch back up here. We're going to drop it back down to 100x leverage. We're going to get a bit more of a positioning. All right, you probably can't see my screen. Yeah, you couldn't see my screen before, so. But no problem. As soon as we enter the position, I'm going to show you all the screen of blofin of when we're entering. I just need to keep an eye on the charts while I'm talking to you guys. All right. And at some point, I might start editing these videos. It's a lot easier for me to just get it straight out there, guys. Yeah, it's really not letting me enter with much that I'd want to. But it's okay. It is what it is. Just the market makers, sometimes they'll let you get in with a big size. Sometimes they won't. Okay, so let's go over to blofin now, so you can see my position. Can you guys see that? One sec. You should be able to. No, you don't. Yeah, you do now. All right, cool. So we're up $1,000 already. So $1,000. We're up from this trade already. Okay. So we're at $900 now. 100x leverage. It only was able to get me in for 20,000. But you could say, well, I ain't got to. It doesn't matter what you get in for, guys. It's to do with scalping in and out. If you had 10% of this, you could make 10% less. You build your pool. Don't worry about what you got in at. And you could have done higher leverage. It's all about your entries. All right, cool. So we're only going to get a quick scalp. Let's get a couple of grand for the video, because obviously this is a live video for you guys to give you some inspiration. And also, I'm going to put my stop loss here. So my aim is to either lose $500 or make 2,000. All right. So, but I will always cut off shortly if I need to. If we have a big candle and the profit's there, we'll take it. All right. So we're still up $600. Let's put the TPs. So TP now. So my target price. Let me get this thingy. So my target price. 1 second, guys. So first of all, my stop loss is the most important thing. So it will be above the swing low, which I'll show you that right in a bit. 118.061. Okay, that's not right, is it? 7. All right, cool. So we're going to take a $600 loss. All right. Nah, we'll tighten up a bit. We want 5. Let's stick to the plan. Yeah, let's stick to the plan. Let's keep it tight. 11749. Yeah, let's keep it tight, guys. So we're only gonna lose this double check here. Cool. We're only gonna lose $500, or we're gonna make 2,000. Now, I don't know about you guys. But that's a good risk to reward. All right, that is a good risk to reward. And as you can see, we are up $1,111. All right. Okay, we're up doing this live for you guys, right? Because I want to teach you guys and help you guys do the same, because it's with a formula, with a strategy. It's not that difficult, all right? Obviously, we're down a little bit now, but that's just how it is. We're going to fluctuate up and down. We'll hold onto our cojones and we see what the market will give us. All right. Got again. So why I took this short, because this to me, zoom out. This is my swing high. This is my swing low. This is my alert. All right. When I have alert, let's get this in now. This is my alert that we are bearish. Okay. We continue this bear trend down. This is my backtrack. Now we're going to go back. We're going to correct slightly. All right. And then when we see some sort of continuation in the backtracking to continue back down, then we'll come back down. That's exactly what I did here. Okay. Now you might think, why there? Because you did say earlier on. Okay, right now, let's see what we got, by the way. $800. Okay, earlier on, I said I was going to get in here, right? You can say many things, but you have to look what the chart's giving you. Never kind of like predict. So you can kind of predict, but you got to adapt, all right? Be ready to adapt. So you can have your point of views, like this market is bearish. I believe it'll go here. But if I see it rolling over, like it was rolling over here, it was very weak here, right? I thought, let's get my position. It's too weak here. We might not get up here, and we have kind of backtracked quite enough for me to be happy with getting in at a discount, all right? So we are going to, we got $900 so far. Might pause, and then we'll come back as we take profits. All right, so currently we're up $1,700. I only paused for like about 3 minutes, went to the toilet. All right, so it's a difficult one, as in it hasn't quite hit the profits that I want, but I believe it can go a lot lower, because if you zoom out, guys, and this is what I'm teaching you guys, we always look at where did this all start, all right? So this was a big correction coming down here, and it started to come in here. So this line here, which I'll put up now, this line here shows me there's a lot of buyers here, a lot of buyers, because this corrected, like this big sell-off. Look at this one candle. Boom! That is a lot of buyers coming from that one candle. And this is on the freaking 1 minute chart. Like we had all that buying power to go like a percent, right? So I feel like there's a lot of buyers down here, right? So I want to come as close to that as possible. But you should always stick to kind of your profits, your strategy of how much you want to make from a trade, your risk management. And I was risking $500 for $2,000. You know, it's a 1 to 4. All right. But nothing in this trade is making me want to, cut my losses early. Also, what I like to do is I like to draw trend lines. Very important to draw trend lines. Now, if or when this breaks this trend, so bullish, so bullish. So we are hoping this breaks, it's over. This breaks this trend line, guys, is over. We're making money, meaning like I can kind of, right now, it's still a possibility this goes back up to my stop loss, which I could not even do my stop loss. I could get out, break even if I really wanted to. But if this breaks that line here, this support line, which it has now, but it's going to close, we're in the game. Look, up 2,500, we're in the game. Up 2,600. All right, I'm going to close. Boom. We're up. All right, so let's, okay, $2,500, $400. We're up on this trade. And I showed you guys it live. This is a real account, no demo. You can see here, real account, real assets, no demo account. All right. And we could have gone a little bit further, to be fair, guys. Like, honestly, I believe that we exit that a little bit too short. But we have to stick to your strategy of taking profits. All right. You have the same way. And this is where a lot of people lose in trading, guys. A lot of people, they have no risk management. They'll get greedy for taking profits and they'll find it hard to stop losses, to actually fulfill their stop losses. They'll be like, no, it's going to go back up. It's going to go back up. It's going to go back up. No, you see what I did then? My stop loss, I put it on. So we down $500 or we up to 2K. The take profits, I didn't put a take profits margin because I had a feeling that we'd have a big red candle, which we did. So I made the extra $500 because I knew we break out that line or some sort of break of market structure like this, we're in the game. All right, guys, as I said, come back down. Am I even sweating it? No. Could have made $5 grand. Could have made 4. I don't care. We have a strategy. We have a thesis. 1 to 4, we take that. So, guys, subscribe. Put notifications on. I'm going to give you guys so much value on this YouTube channel for absolutely free. If you guys want to copy trade me, there is a way that you can copy trade me on blofin. Make sure you're using blofin. My link's in the description. You get the best fees out there. And if you do want to copy trade me and you want a bit more advanced help from me, you can jump over to my Instagram, the link in the description, and we can have a conversation.